Alrighty, guys, so here we go. Ev, are you paying attention? All right, Ev, I want you to get off your phone. And if you're using your phone to view this, I want you to turn off the phone you're using and get another phone and watch this video on that other phone. Okay? So here we go. We are going to start off from the very beginning. All right, so I just opened my Zbrush. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Open. I'm going to say No. I go to Render Settings, right? Or Render Projects. I call it Render Settings and DPS Render Project. Then I'm going to go to Load Tool. And I'm going to go to, where is it? So, let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay, so now we have this character in here, right? So we're going to position him, make him look super dope. Okay, make sure those duck lips are there, right? So we're going to go to light, right? So you can find that up here, and you can just dock it over here, okay? So I'm going to change this light, and I'm going to get my fill light, okay? And I'm going to press Shift R. Everything, all the render settings are already set for you. You don't need to do anything but press render. Now, if you come in and your character's looking weird, then make sure you go here, load your material, and make sure it's on the DPS render material. Okay? So I'll show you how to do that as soon as this is done. All right, so what I'm going to do is go here, go to load. I'm going to go back to my render projects and DPS render material, right? That's what I got here. So all right, so now we have our render, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to Document, going to Export, and then I'm going to go here, go to my whips, right? And just create a new folder, UIW. Now I'm just going to go 0, 1 because I know that's always my fill light. Then I'm going to go here for my light, and I'm going to go to the opposite side, right? And then I'm going to render this. All right, so now we have that. So we can go to Document, Export 0, 2, Enter, right? So now I want to get my rim light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my material to Basic Material 2. I'm going to my Subtool palette, and I'm turning off all my color information by holding Shift and clicking the paintbrush, so you can turn it all on or turn it all off. We want it off. You'll know that it's off because it's grayed out as opposed to highlighted. Okay. Then we're going to go down here to our color palette, and we're going to kick this down to straight black. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our Material tab, which you can find up here under Material. Go to Modifiers right here. It's your second option. Then kick Specular all the way up to 100%. Now we want to go to our light. And we want to, so if we have it right here, it's in the front, right? We don't want all this, right? It's a bunch of highlights in the front there, just going to blow out all of our information. So we don't want that, okay? What we want is we want this behind it and like top 3/4 or right or left, okay? So how we get the light to go behind our object is to click it once, and now it's behind. And then I'm going to kick this up here, the opposite side of my side light, right? And how you place it will get you a different result, right? So what I want are these ears right here. I want that right there. I got all that, okay? So Shift R, and we're going to render it. All right, so now we have our render. So we go here to Document, Export, O3, and we know that's always going to be our REM light. And now we're going to go to Render up here. Okay. We're going to dock it over here, and we're going to go to our render pass, just right here. Under External Renderer, then Render Properties, then we're going to BPR Render Pass. Then we're going to click Depth. It's already going to be titled for us, so I'm just going to press Enter. Then I'm going to go here to Mask. It says it right there, Mask. Click that, press Enter because it's already titled for me. Then I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to open up Photoshop. Alrighty, so now we're in Photoshop. I'm going to open up all of these images, right, that we just created. And so I'm going to grab my mask, Control A, Control C, go to my first PSD, go to Channels, add a new channel, Control V, right? So I added my new channel down here. Should have something like this, an icon similar to that. Then we go here to my depth, Control A, Control C, go back to my 01, create a new layer, Control V. Then I'm going to click RGB up here. And now it's going to take me back to all this. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my Layers tab. I'm going to grab my O2, Control A, Control C, go back to 01, paste it in, go here, grab my rim light, Control A, Control C, Control V, and set this to screen. All right. So now we got two options. We can go with that, or we can blend these two. Which I wouldn't mind. Right? And I'm not worried about much at all besides trying to create a dramatic image. Right? So something like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control Shift Alt E, and that's going to duplicate all these layers and give me a new one, right? So now I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Lens Blur. Go ahead and click that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Alpha 2 because I know that is going to be my depth mask. And I'm going to click the face. That's where I want everything to be nice and clear. And my radius is at about 26. Okay. So do that. So now I'm going to, you can see the slight difference, right? Especially right here, which can help us out, right? Because maybe some parts we do want blurred. Maybe we don't. But either way, it is useful to have this option. Okay. So we've merged all our layers and made a new one, right? So now I'm going to go to my channels. I'm going to control click my alpha, right? Go back to my layers, control shift I, and delete. And so now I don't have a background, right? So now I can look up Arkham Knight Street. Right? So I can go here, view image, copy image, go back to Photoshop, create a new layer, paste it in there, Control T, Shift and Alt, and there we go. Now he's in Gotham. Right? Now we can use pretty much any part of this to create a nice dramatic image, right? So we want something kind of bright behind him. So something like that, right? So enter. There we go. All right, so the next thing that we got to do is we've got to merge everything down again. So we hold Control, Shift, Alt, then press E. And so now we've merged this down into one image, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to go to Filter, and I'm going to go to Camera Raw Filter. And this is where the magic happens, right? I'm going to click this. And this is our before, and this is our after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to give it an overall blue so it seems more dangerous. All right, 'cause if we went warm, it's not really dangerous. It's more, I don't know, happy or memorable, right? So we go blue, but not just hint at it, right? Then toss in a little purple, just a little, just a tad, just a little, just a tidbit. And then, so we see how dark everything is. Now check this out. So we're gonna kick up the exposure, kick up the contrast, or lower it. I'm gonna kick it up. Knock down the high, well, kick up the highlight a bit, because I like what's happening there. Then shadows, so now I can bring out all that stuff that was in the dark. Kick up my contrast a little bit. Then the whites, I don't want them too blown out, but I do want them a little strong. And then bring that out, right? So now what we can do is we can go here to clarity. We can kick this up and it can really bring everything out, right? So gonna be a little tasteful about it. Okay. And then see what this looks like. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna go here to sharpening so you can see what that does. You know, just sharpens everything up. Right? Gets everything nice and crisp. And the next thing I'm gonna do is go here to effects. And I'm going to do some post-crop vignetting so we can just focus on him again, right? Before, and look at all the information we got out of that, right? Okay. Look at that. Look at the difference, right? Isn't that awesome? And so, yeah. So that's rendering in ZBrush. So that's what I need from all of y'all whenever you start sending your renders over to me. I need a beauty shot. And I don't need to see the whole body or anything like that. But just give me the most favorable view of the character and put them in an environment, right? Because this is what the type of stuff that you need to do whenever you're selling your artwork to a client or to a potential client, right? Because look how boring it is without that, or even how boring it is without the highlight. See that? Right? Like, yeah, that's a cool image, but that's better. Right? And that's even more dramatic. We just pulled everything out. Right? So you can go in here with your 2D and accentuate things if you want to, you know. You can go here to your camera raw filter and you can say, okay, all these highlights. So all my highlights, I want them super saturated and I want them all bright blue. And this is how much of that effect that you want on it, right? And then the shadows, same thing. How much, right? So you can get some pretty cool stuff here. Right, nice dynamic image. We can see the before and after if we like it or we don't. Right, so something like that. Okay. Press OK. Right, so before, or really before, then after. Right. So if you have any questions, just write them in the forum. Let me know, and I'll try to answer them. All right, guys. Thanks.